So we have some plots that were submitted to hydroseeding there, and here it's a control plot. So here we have a control plot, and what we want to do here basically are two things. One is to see how much the plants that were hydroseeded there are coming to here, so they are not natural from here. They were just bought in a shop and just, they are not necessarily native. So the idea is to understand how many plants and what type of plants can be able to contaminate in certain way other areas which were just left to regenerate. So this is one point. And the other point is to understand how much functional groups, what type of functional groups are here. So how much functionality the system has when it's natural regenerated, and how much functionality the system has when it's hydroseeded, to compare that.
Mirts comunis.
Is it shrub or?
It's a shrub.
It's a shrub,
yes,
yeah.
it's this
Okay.
one.
It was at the
behind you.
nursery.
Well,
Smells
this,
nice. Is that
it
the other
says
thing
for
that
you.
smells?
Yes, it has a
Distinctive.
strong smell.
Ooh, sorry. I like the smell of this. What is it?
This is very good. This smell.
What they are looking for now, they are just trying to sample how much, what different type of groups we have at the moment. So they are looking for leguminous plants, graminia, compost plants, and others. So, and they will see the proportion at the end, the proportion of plants. So that's what we are doing here. And then, for example, if you have about 70% of leguminous plants, we will compare this with the other group of people which are doing the same in the hydroseeding place.
So you can see the difference between the natural areas surrounding the quarries and the revegetated areas that start the process of rehabilitation in 1983. An example of an action that we implement in the field. We had a partnership with the University of Évora regarding fauna, and this is part of our action plan, and this was to increase shelter availability to passerines in the recovered areas. So you see here is a type of box that they built and they implement in the field.
So the fieldwork here at the platforms is about comparing differently aged platforms, aged in terms of plantation. So we have formed 3 groups of students, and each one is measuring using the same methodology on each platform, and they are using a simplified transept method to evaluate the cover of each vegetation layer and at the soil composition at the soil level. They measure the cover and the maximum height of each of these layers, so the shrub layer, the herb layer, and the tree layer. And the objective is to compare the structure we obtain here with the structure our colleagues are measuring in the oldest platforms above us, and see how fast did the vegetation develop since plantation. To revegetate these platforms, they have been using always the same species, which are local species, most of them, and they belong to the typical woody vegetation of this mountain range. You have wild olive, you have juniper, you have carob, you have myrtle, and you have some oaks, the Kermes oak and the Portuguese oak. And you also have an alien species here, which is Aleppo pine. It can grow taller and so reduce the impact of the quarry. Now we are trying to thin them down because they don't belong to the local flora, and so little by little they are being taken out of the platforms. Anyway, here you can still see a lot of pines.